Hey, it's John. Today we have twins, Mikael and Ola Rimstedt. These two Swedes won the World Pairs in 2018 as 23-year-olds. Literally the premier pair event in the world. It happens once every 4 years. They also won a Junior World Championship as teammates in 2014. And both their sisters are women's world champions. So these two are from a bridge playing family. Their father was also on the Swedish Open team previously, and they're my friends. So I might not be even close to them in bridge, but maybe I'm better than them in golf. So we did a free virtual premiere of Double Dummy a couple of weeks ago in conjunction with the ACBL. And we got some really positive responses. Almost 1,900 people signed up to watch the film. A high school classmate of mine sent me the following email. John, my mom is a big bridge player. She always tried to get me to learn. I watched the first 5 minutes or so of your film and then realized she would love it. So I stopped and went over to her house and we watched the whole thing together. She loved it and I did too. I promised her that I would buy Bridge for Dummies and watch a few YouTube videos and see if I can learn a bit. That's what we're talking about. Also, my mother watched it and here's what she had to say. So much more cohesive than before. The plot is clear as you masterfully set the drama. When she says before, she's talking about the original version we released in 2017. Well done. Music was good too. So it's the film is available for virtual events. Go to our new website, doubledummymovie.com, and sign up to host a virtual event. Or ask your club to host a virtual event. Now on to the Rimstedts.
I have got, besides Zach Grossack and Adam Grossack, probably the second best pair of brothers as bridge partners in the world here today. The twins, Mikael and Ola.
Hello there.
Hey, guys.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Thanks for joining me. What do you think about that introduction?
Well, I can.
Very flattering. Very
flattering. Yeah, I don't really know how to comment on that introduction.
To be included in the same category as the Grossacks is pretty special company, right?
Nothing I'm going to write up on my resume, but I'll take it.
Where are you guys? I understand that you live in Stockholm. Are you living in the same apartment or what?
We were living together for 5 years, but since about 2 months back, we do not live in the same apartment anymore, but we live pretty close to each other.
And what was the thinking behind the splitting up?
It's been in our head that we have to find our own flat. We were living together before, but finding our own flat is like the beginning of a new life. So it was just a matter of time.
Are you each living on your own?
I am now living on my own, and it's fantastic.
Got it.
Yeah, I would say it was not that big of a deal before the pandemic, but when you're spending every single second with your brother, with your bridge partner, with your family, you can get annoyed at some occasions, but yeah, not right now when we live separately, it's just much better for all kind of reasons.
So who got the better place?
I would say Ola get a better place right now because, he was the one buying a new apartment. I still live in the old one. We lived together for 5 years. I've lived here for 7 years and I still enjoy it, but I'm going to find my own place sooner or later.
Oh, so you're living in the apartment where you guys were living, Mikael?
Yep, that's right.
Got it. So you bought an apartment, Ola?
Yeah, that's kind of what you do. I wouldn't say it's like the normal thing in Sweden, but it's like an investment on my own. So it was always the plan instead of renting a place.
Well, that's great, man. You're a homeowner.
Exactly. I'm very happy I came to this part of life. It's a new chapter.
I mean, to find a place to rent in Stockholm is so hard. I'm a subscribed on a list of finding an apartment to rent, and it's about 20 years in the queue.
Wow.
So it's hard if you don't have like the contacts for someone who's renting an apartment, or if you don't have enough money to buy, which is super expensive in Stockholm compared to many places. Maybe not compared to New York, but you see what I mean.
So does that mean Ola's managing his money better than you are?
I mean,
let's say we have different priorities when it comes to spending money. Is that a good enough of an answer?
What are your priorities, Mikael, with the money, all this money you're making from playing bridge?
I mean, right now I wouldn't say I have much priority for money except saving. And I mean, one day I might find somebody I want to share my life with, and then I want to have maybe a nicer place. And I mean, when Ola moved out, it didn't take many days before I bought a car, for example, and Ola doesn't have one. So I mean, yeah, we have our priorities.
How much golf are you guys playing right now?
We are playing, I would say this summer we played up to 60 rounds, maybe a little bit more than that. It was because we didn't get to travel anywhere. So besides playing internet bridge, we have been playing golf almost, I wouldn't say every day, but up to 4 or 5 times a week during the summer period. And the summer period in Sweden is 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Yeah, it's about to reach its end. It's getting quite cold here in Sweden, but we're still trying to squeeze in a few rounds before the season is over.
And even though you guys aren't living together, are you still playing golf together most of the time?
Most of the time we're playing golf together, almost every time, I would say.
So you guys are good friends.
Yeah,
absolutely. We do most of the things together, so it comes on a natural basis.
And how far apart are your apartments?
By walk is about 15 minutes.
Okay, so how about winning the World Pairs?
And this obviously the highlight of our career. And it was also like I don't know if that's an expression, but like a rocket start of our career.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of our career, because after that we got a couple of offers going to different places, like different tournaments in the US and even China. So it was really something that put us on the bridge map. It was a great kick in our asses.
How old were you guys when you won?
This was 2018. We were born 95, so 3 years ago.
23.
And did you think that it was possible? Like, did it occur to you, like, before the tournament maybe, that, you know, like, we could win the World Pairs? Like, when did the possibility of actually winning that event?
I mean, it's quite a funny story, because when we were kicked out of the team event, we were both saying like, no, we don't want to play this pair event because it's just too much of a stretch on the partnership. We don't really want to play it. But in the end, we woke up that morning and looked at each other like, what are we going to do here in Orlando for 5 days before I was playing the mixed in your team? And I think Ola was also playing the mixed. And we felt like, yeah, we should just play the pairs and see how it goes. And we were not allowed into the event at first because it was too late to register. But then we were consulting with the director, who sent us to some registration desk. And they said, yeah, if we have any spot left for people not showing up, or there's like a table that does not have a pair that is available, you're free to go. So we were just waiting for someone to assign us a table. So it was an exciting story to start with. But wow. I wouldn't say we were expecting to win the tournament, obviously, because we were still not one of these big stars comparing to many other pairs like Levin Weinstein, Maxwell Rodwell, who was in the event. But when we reached from the semi-final to the finals, which I felt like we were favorite to reach, But then it just felt like we were going to do as good as possible. But we were leading after every session in the finals. And that was when we had like a flow. We felt like we might actually do this. Like we might create history or a miracle. So I would say like in the finals after like first or second session, we realized we might have a good shot at it.
Not to sound cocky, but we were basically not taking it 100% serious in the beginning when we started the qualification of the pairs, 2-day qualification. Then it was 2 day of semifinals in the pair, and obviously we were playing quite decent bridge, good enough to qualify to the next stage. But we weren't like in our minds. It was not that we were going to win this. This is not like the biggest thing that we can ever do. But when we reached the finals, we were like, okay, this is quite a big event. And if we really do good in this, I mean, it's actually going to mean something. So we did take it quite seriously when we started the first day of the finals. Not to sound cocky, but that is basically our minds.
I mean, just think of the pairs that played in it, like Michael was saying, Mexroth, Rodwell. You guys just beat out Joe and Brad, Levin Weinstein. I mean,
it's quite a big field. I know. It's definitely something to remember forever.
Yeah, that's a great event. You said, Michael, that it put stress on the partnership. Like, will you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the thing is, when you're playing team events, you don't really have to spend too much thinking about overtricks, because the only thing you're thinking about is like how to beat the contract. And you might give away like one overtrick here and there. Just try to beat the contract. But when you're playing pairs, you just have to focus on every single card. And also in the bidding, you have to play a kind of a different game, even if it's still the same. But you're thinking a little different. But mostly in the card play, you just have to have so much focus. Even when you have like absolutely nothing in your hand, you still have to do anything you can to give partner the right signal, just to keep the tricks down as much as possible. I mean, for example, if it goes like 1 no trump, pass 3 no trump, and the dummy is with 14 high card points, I mean, I'm just going to lean back and stay relaxed in a team event. But in a match point event, I would just, it's different.
It's different when you have to optimize your bridge so much, and you have to do it for, as we were expecting to play the whole event. It was 6 days, and playing a pair event for 6 days, that tears up your partnership a little bit, because it requires so much focus, and the fact that you're only playing with your original partner for 6 days, it consumes a lot of energy. So we were preparing for the worst, that we were probably not speaking to each other at the end of the event, but I guess we're still speaking for a good reason.
Do you either of you remember being like hard on each other about a particular board during the actual event?
Definitely. I don't remember a specific board, but this was when it was the second to last round. And the only thing
of the
finals, and we were leading like throughout the whole finals. And we did not have a pretty good last session, but we had a kind of a good lead. And on the last board of the second to last round, Ola did something that didn't satisfy me. So I was actually really hard on him. Like, I was not nice, I was so mad because, I mean, this is the World Championship. We're leading and we're not doing so well in the last session. We just have to keep something like average to have because we were leading so big. But we had a pretty good last round. So that's when I kept my calm a little bit. But before that, I was furious almost.
And the thing that happened on this board was that I did open a preemptive opening bid, which got double to my left pass. And I sat there like, this is not good, because I didn't have like a appropriate opening bid. So I redoubled for SOS for my own opening preemptive suit. Because I had a 5-4-4-0 shape. So I just run to either of my 4-card suits. And I found a good fit, and we made the double contract.
This is on the board where Michael got mad at you?
Yep. He was furious. We got a complete 100%, but please don't make any stupid things up. Just play your natural bridge. Consistency is key.
What was your main your 5-card suit?
It was diamonds, so I opened week of diamonds.
And did you have both majors?
I did have clubs and the major, so 5-4-4-0 shape.
So it went redouble. Michael bid what?
I bid 3 clubs because I realized he would never do such a thing with both my majors. So I gambled 3 clubs with my 5-card suit, and it got doubled.
Because you thought if he had both majors, he might bid too hard.
I mean, if he would have both majors, he would get even bigger bollocks from me. I mean, I was ready to raise my voice.
He knows that I'm crazy, but there is a level of crazy, and I wouldn't do it with 4-4 in the majors and 5 diamonds. So obviously there should be clubs on the side.
Wow.
So you can hear
And
at least
what?
he trusted me a little bit. Not completely, but...
Who are you playing against?
I don't remember exactly. Do you remember?
No, I actually don't remember.
Yeah.
There were a couple of pairs we hadn't seen before. There were some Chinese pairs, I remember.
So when you custom out, did you custom out in Swedish or English? Or did you just keep it? Yeah.
It's rare I'm screaming at him in English.
Wow. And what did you say, Ola, in response to Michael chewing you out like this?
He was just agreeing with me.
I was agreeing with him, obviously, because I wasn't that... I was certainly not convinced that this is the right way to play bridge when we are at this stage in the event. So he was obviously right, but I was smiling. Obviously, I just created a 100% board for us.
Whose team were you guys on in the Rosenblum?
We were playing with Dan Sagorin, Peter Berto. I don't remember if we had this third.
No, we played 4-handed.
Yeah.
That ended earlier than you were hoping.
I think we won the first 2 rounds, and then we were in not the quarterfinals, but before that.
Well, we got through the round robin to get to knockouts, and then we were knocked out almost immediately.
Oh yeah, maybe even It was too early for us. Let's put it that way.
That's for sure.
Yeah, if I were Dan Zagoran, I would be pretty psyched to have that team playing in the event.
Yeah,
I'd be wanting more.
So I remember who we lost to. We lost to this team that was playing with Satorsky and Ron Pastman.
Yeah, the Ken what is he called?
Bergeson and Mitton.
That reminds me, I pulled up this, I don't know who told me about this, but I guess when Michael played with Peter and Madeira,
Ola played with Peter.
It says it's rim job.
Yep, that's correct.
In the view graph.
Yeah.
I don't know who told me about that, but I looked it up before and I found it. So I'll include that in the show notes. So that was Ola. That wasn't Michael.
No, that was Ola. And the reason is the operator was asking, "What's your names?" And Peter found this perfect opportunity. It's like, "I'm Berto," and he spelled it, and he also wrote "rim job." And we looked at the view graph after the match, and then it said Berto playing with rim job. The operator wasn't that good in English, so maybe he or she didn't understand.
How many times have people commented on that to you since Ola?
We were having a pretty good time after that for a couple of hours. Yeah, obviously we got a couple of messages asking, "What is this? Why is this happening? How did the operator go through with this?" For obvious reasons, there was a language barrier and a bit more than that.
Is Simon Eckenberg playing bridge? I haven't seen him playing in any of these events.
He is not playing bridge on a regular basis anymore. He is right now. He became a dad not too long ago, so his main focus is on his family and I think studies right now.
Huh.
And he doesn't really have a regular partner either, so it's kind of difficult.
Holtby's playing with
with Peter Berto
and Gunnar Hallberg.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For Swedish Open team, he plays together with Peter Berto.
How did you guys get selected for the Swedish Open team this time?
We don't have team trials, but we have kind of like a pairs, not completely trials, but it's called an observation tournament. So they are like seeing how we behave against top opposition. And the captain has full power to select.
How does that person become the captain?
He has been the He was first a coach for a few years, and then he became the captain. And I think that's been for like at least a double-digit years. I don't know how many.
So do you guys kiss his ass?
Definitely not. But I do remember the first time we were selected. He was not the captain, and he was the coach. And that was because I felt the captain kept picking the same team without giving anybody the chance to play in the open team. So after me, Ola, and actually Simon were putting on some results playing as a team in Monaco, in Moscow, I was trying to tell him, when are you trying to give some other people a chance? I mean, what kind of results do we have to prove to show ourselves against these top Swedish pairs? I mean, how much do you see them practice except going to these big nationals and European and world tournaments? And I mean, that was the truth. So that's when he created like an opposition tournament. And me and Ola got selected quite immediately, which was quite of a surprise to us. But that was nice. A good opportunity.
So you had to, when you first got named to the team, you actually were petitioning the captain to consider you.
I sent an email that he maybe should try to consider some other pairs or give other pairs a chance. I mean, because since the captain has full power, and I think the captain were kind of like a coward when picking the team at this point. So that's when I sent an email saying you should try to give some other pairs a chance.
So why does this captain have all this power? Like, how does he get? I mean, like in the U.S., I don't think we would. I mean, it's different in the U.S. Like we have sponsors, you know, so we have people that are paying.
It's different because in most other countries you have a trials, and in that particular trials you form your own team. Like in Sweden, I think we have a better team chemistry in most partnerships and most individuals comparing to other countries. So we can basically play together with anybody. We don't have to form our own teams. So the captain is always choosing the best partnership that has been proving themselves the best in a certain period.
Also, I feel like it's a good advantage, not an advantage, but I like having the best team representing your country. And you will probably never see that in US because it's always a sponsor playing in the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see the best. It would be so hard for me to say who's the best three pairs in America because you have so many good pro pairs. But you will never see pro pairs building like their own team, except once I remember when Gavin, Kraniak, Kevin, and they were not in a regular partnership, but they were 4 pros playing together. That's what I remember.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, it's always like 2 teams from US with sponsors in the team. Which
yeah, because it's probably surprising for you guys not to see McAllister on those US teams. You know, like,
yeah, still waiting to have this opportunity to play against this team.
I saw you bought a new Tesla. Congratulations, by the way.
No, that's on my Instagram. I actually didn't, but my friend's son took over he stole his mom's phone. And so he was going on her Instagram and posting. And so it was really funny because like he's like 10 years old and he was posting these just ridiculous stories and videos. And I was like, I was staying at their house recently and I said, can I give you my phone? I want to give you my phone and have you post on my Instagram. And so I did. And he was really excited about the Tesla, but it's actually not new. And I don't know, the whole thing kind of backfired. I feel like it was sort of like I was having to explain anyway. It didn't have the effect that I wanted.
I promised myself one day, that day I get as much money as John McAllister, I'm gonna buy myself a Tesla.
Well, I don't know. This is a rental that I'm living in, so you've got a home. I mean, Michael has a car. What kind of car did you get, Michael?
A BMW.
Oh, wow. So you're driving everybody. How many people can you fit in there?
4 or 5. No, 4 plus me, so 5.
With golf clubs?
Yeah, they have a big trunk, so 4 golf clubs, 4 golf bags.
It's perfect.
What do you guys do when you play golf? Like, how do you format it?
Most of the time we play together with Adam Stock and Simon Holt, so it's usually the 4 of us, and we have a membership that consists of maybe 20 different golf courses around Stockholm. So we like to play a variety of golf courses. It's not always the same one, so we go around. But sometimes we even play courses that we pay the green fee to play, because we like to play different ones every time. That's pretty much what we do, and pretty much everybody takes turn to drive to the golf course, except me, because I don't have a car. The others do.
And so, what do you do for betting? Do you like team up, like throw balls, or how do you decide who's playing with who?
It kind of depends who you're playing with, but that does not happen when we play with Holt and Stocka, because the handicap is so different. Not for me and Ola, we are about the same, but for Holt and Stocka, I mean, I guess we can create some betting going on, but we just don't really do that. But it happens quite often when you play with other people, or when I play with other people.
So what do you do what do you do between the two of you? Like, is it competitive? Like, who has the lowest score, or do you have any
sometimes
money?
We challenge each other who has the lower handicap at a certain period, but we don't have any like bet or anything between us. But sometimes we like to show off to others who has the better handicap. And right now, most of the time this summer, it's been me.
That's surprising, because I feel like Michael is much more sort of bragging about his golf on Instagram. Like, he had 4 birdies at Sunningdale with Zia. And I'm actually surprised that Ola, not only are you even in the same class as Michael, but that you're like actually have a lower handicap, because the social media.
I mean, you don't realize how close it is.
Story.
I'm 3.1 and Ola is like the same. I don't know.
He said he was lower.
He was lower, exactly. You have to understand, he was lower. He is not lower.
The thing, yesterday we played a round, and after yesterday I was 3.1, but I didn't do perfect yesterday, so I got up to 3.2.
but I played well, so now I'm down to 3.1, so I am better actually.
I'll tell you. So I belong to a club here in Charlottesville called Farmington Country Club, and we just got a new pro. Director of golf, I guess is his title. And I met him the other day, and we were talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing really well. And he's like, what's your handicap? And it was the lowest that it's been, and it was 1.9. And I said, I really wanted to say like 2, because like I thought it was kind of nerdy to say 1.9. But then, like, when it came out, I'm like, 1.9.
1.9 is like 1, right?
I mean, no, it's definitely, I'm a rounder up guy. But I think 1.9 is the lowest. I think the 1.9 is the lowest I've ever been.
We're looking forward to have some bets on the golf course when we're coming to the States. How about that? So excited they open up the States now in November.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like that's gonna. I mean, that. Fingers crossed. It looks like Austin's gonna happen, and people are gonna be able to come.
I don't know how much I'll be looking forward coming to the Nationals. I mean, it's just insane.
I think speaking of golf handicap, it's all about the consistency. I don't think the lower the better. I think it's all about the consistency. And I mean, obviously, you're not that low if you're not consistent most of the time. I mean, sure, you could have 10 good rounds in a row, but I rather have like the same handicap for 50 rounds in a row. So I think that's.
Well, I just want mine to get lower. I don't care about consistency. I just want it low.
It's so easy if you don't register all the bad rounds. Like that's how I see it. There are those who do
That's called a vanity handicap, and I have had one of those over the years, but I've gotten better. I turn in all my scores now. It's just,
the same.
Sometimes it's painful to turn in like a bad score. You know, like you shoot like 85. It's just like, I have to really count this up and then turn it in. But I just like to do it as soon as possible, and then I'm done with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally agree with you.
Do you have a team for Austin?
Yeah, we have a team. So just before the pandemic, we had this new team, and we're so excited to start playing with them. But yeah, as the pandemic came, we only played one tournament. It was a regional just before the pandemic, but that is the only time, plus some online nationals. But so it's going to be Joyce Hill playing with Kevin Dwyer and Shan Hang. So we're 5-handed.
I think maybe Shan was the person who told me about Rim Job.
Really?
That's a sweet team. I mean, that Shan was a guest. I just interviewed him recently. Not that you guys would have listened to it, but I interviewed him. And then I've played with Kevin. I've played a couple of tournaments with Kevin. So you guys are taking over for J-Law and KB.
That's cool.
Very much.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Nah, I don't think so. We're ready to take on the challenge. But it's going to be a fun team. I'm looking forward to it. We had a great time playing the regional with this team before. We haven't played with this exact team, but we played with Joyce and Kevin before, not Shan at that particular regional. But we're looking forward to it, and I really hope Texas is going to be a thing.
Yeah, I do too.
Are you playing in Austin?
I don't have any plans. I manage my money poorly, so I don't have the ability to hire Peter Fredine and guys like that these days. So I was dating a bridge player, and we're probably going to play an event together. But I don't know. I'm fishing. If I mean,
we still don't know if it's going to happen.
It's a bad answer. Well, I mean, I don't know. We were potentially going to get a mixed team we were going to play the Risinger and then get a mixed team. Play the Risinger with the mixed team because there's the mixed Swiss that starts the next day.
It's a good plan.
But I mean, last we were going to play with Jovi and Sasha, and when I talked to them, Jovi's like not sure that she could get in, but I guess now maybe it's different. So
we're all crossing our fingers.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are going to play the Soloway and the Risinger?
I don't think we'll play the Risinger. We'll probably play the Swiss. Think so.
Yeah, we will see when we get there. I don't think we have completely decided what we're going to do, but normally Joyce plays the Swiss. But we'll see what we do. I
love playing the Risinger. I think that's such a great event.
I agree. I love that event. I love Border Match.
We'll see. I've got some irons in the fire. I mean, I'm not complete. I'd like to be. I mean, my goal. I definitely want to win a world championship. You know, like I'm not giving up on bridge, but right now I just don't have the funds to hire teams. So, being a little more fiscally conservative.
Time is money.
I mean, and I don't know. I'm not doing that much. I'm really not doing that much to get more money, but so
start investing. You need somebody to invest your money and make them work.
I mean, I have people that invest. I mean, anyway, yeah. What I probably need is I need a more lucrative, like I need a better job to make more money. Because right now it's just I've been working on the film. We recut the film. We just finished it like yesterday. The new version is 50 minutes. I've been working on that for 9 years.
So I have high expectations.
I mean, I hope you'll watch it. I don't think you guys are even. I don't think we even see you in this version. We saw you were in the previous version, but I don't think you're like even on screen.
Disappointing. First time for everything.
I mean, I honestly, like, I wish. I mean, we're talking. So this film, we covered the World Youth Team Championships, which took place in 2012, and you guys were on the Swedish team. And if I could go back in time, I would, like, for sure have. I mean, we would have spent time with you guys, like, not at the table. We spent a lot of time filming at the table. Like, we didn't really get to know the people who were playing in the tournament so well. So there's you guys. There's like the Israeli girls, Klukowski.
I mean, don't forget the Grosacks. We are just second on the list. They are first on the list. Don't forget.
Well, we did spend some time with the Grosacks, and then that's one of the saving graces of the film is the Grosacks, because there's a lot of drama between.
You give them way too much credit, man.
I do remember what when we won the World Championship, I got a message from Zach, who I think left for something else. He was not playing the mixes because he was not there. He said, I think, if I remember correctly, said, "Congratulations for winning my World Championship." This guy is not a joke. Okay, he may be a joke, but
if we're gonna ask you, John, do you think we have like a partnership contest with the Grosacks?
What do you mean partnership contest? I mean, they don't even play together right now.
Well, like a contest in whoever does the best
between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember when we played together in Iceland. I played with Adam, and you guys were our teammates. Like, Adam said that Zach would be jealous that he was getting to play with you guys. So, I mean, honestly, I mean, Michael said it well. I don't really think that they're not really punching at your weight right now. I mean, you guys won the world pairs. You've won the juniors. Like that, like what's.
I'm waiting for them to represent USA, and then we might discuss.
Well, I think they made it. Didn't they make it into the top 8 of the trials?
They did not even make it to the top 12, if I remember correct.
No, they did. They
did? Okay.
They made the top 12, but I guess they didn't make the top 8.
That's right.
Huh.
Well, everybody can have a bad tournament, so
they did not have particularly good teammates like Cia, Michael Rosenberg. I mean, no big names in that team anyway.
Zach was playing with Kevin, right? Kevin
yeah.
Rosenberg. Yeah, Kevin's fun to play with. I enjoy playing with him.
He's a nice person. I like to play.
Somebody asked me if I had $1 billion the other day, like how would my life be different? And the first thing I said was, well, I'd have a regular bridge partnership. Kevin Rosenberg would be my bridge partner. That's the first thing I said. And then I was like, well, I would have, I would probably own a couple of houses. But yeah, that was literally the first thing I said.
You and Kevin have been doing great in those tournaments you played.
We've had some success. We did well in the USBF, one of the USBFs, and then we were leading the Risinger actually at the half of day 2, the last time the Risinger was played, and then we didn't even qualify for the finals. Which I've never qualified for the finals.
Oh, really?
Michael, have you ever qualified for the finals of the Risinger?
Yes.
Ola has, but I have not. With his other junior partner, so that was quite a long time ago.
Or why did you guys stop playing together?
I think that we needed some perspective of our bridge, so we figured we might have to go separate ways to take the next step in our bridge level. So I started to play with Mikael Grönqvist, and Ola started to play with Johan Sefsten, and we were still playing the same team. And Ola and Johan did great, and they were building this very complicated relay system, while me and Michael tried to just hold the golf ball on the fairway. And yeah, we did very well. We had some good success in the junior championships. Then Michael was going to play with our sister in the juniors, so I played then 2 championships with Ida Grönqvist, and we also did great. But then when me and Ola kept playing together, actually in the big Swedish championships like Open Team and Premier League, we kind of realized we were doing pretty well together. We were discussing bridge and we were finger bridge the same way, and we realized our partners didn't really have the same goal as we had. So that's when we realized maybe we should take another shot and start play together. So yeah, it was 3 years of not playing together, which was probably very necessary for our bridge career.
I think it was great because, as Michael said initially, we had to see bridge from a different perspective. We've been taught bridge the same way. We've been playing together for so many years, so we had to learn. I mean, what we did quite frequently in Sweden was we played with different partners in like national tournaments, national pair tournaments, so we could learn from the better, more experienced players. That's how we got up, like from when we were very young. So we could do the same, like building a partnership, and we can get that new experience. So that was a good start for our careers. And the first thing me and Michael did when we got back playing together, we played the World Junior Championship pair tournament in Croatia, and we won it by quite big margin. So that was a pretty good boost. It's like feeling, okay, this might work, so we're going to continue and see how it goes. And we did quite well after that.
I like what Michael said about having the same goals. Like, what do you think, Michael? If you could articulate those goals, what do you think that they would be? To be like,
this was just like the last year, I think, in the high school. So then we both got a contract to play in US. And firstly, it was Ola playing with his former junior partner. But then when we were going to start play together, I kind of replaced him. And we started to play in US together. So we guess we had a goal of continuing playing in US and see where it goes. And yeah, we've just been going better and better, I would say. So I don't want to say we had like a specific goals. I mean, at this point, I don't think we had the Swedish national team in our minds.
Who was the first US sponsor that you guys had?
The first one we played with was Hansa Nara Simon.
There's only one tournament.
I think I played with her 3 tournaments in total, so for the full cycle. Then I played with Johan Safstin, my former junior partner, for all those 3 tournaments. And one of those tournaments, Michael played with Hansa, so we played 4-hand. We actually played 6-hand. We played with 2 Finnish guys also, 2 great friends. But then after that tournament, we started to play with our second client, which was
Phyllis Fireman.
Phyllis Fireman. That was then we played with her, I think, for, was it 3 years?
Not that long, I think. But yeah,
there was many tournaments with a good team and very fun team, and we had a very good time. So that was a good start, like getting our foot in the bridge.
How did you get the job with Hansa?
I think actually it was when I started to play quite a lot of bridge with a guy on BBO. He plays quite often with Jimmy Kane. His BBO name is Bridgecott. His name is Jay Barronan, and he's American, and plays quite a lot with Jimmy Kane. But he also said that he played with Hansa back then and he asked if maybe we could come and be his teammates. So that we did. That was the start. Not much more than that, but still getting to know each other on BBO. We started to play quite a bit, and he invited us over to the US. That was a good start. But the very first tournaments in the US we played, we were quite lucky because we had a Swedish contact named Jill Mellström, who was the ex-wife of P.O. Sunderlin. She had a contact in the US who sponsored Swedish junior teams for a couple of years. to come over and play and represent like a junior team in a full nationals. And that happened for a couple of nationals. That was also where our sisters played in the US for the first time. So we did exact same thing. So that was a great opportunity for the Swedish junior players back then to get a chance to play the nationals and play against the best players in the world.
Was this person Swedish? Who Jill's contact?
No.
Like, what was her reason for helping out Swedish
I don't
juniors?
know. I actually don't know exactly what the actual background is for doing this. So I don't really know why it is, but Jill did it for the Swedish juniors, and we didn't ask that many questions, I think. But it was quite a generous thing.
Did you ever get to meet this person?
No, we did not.
What was the tournament that you played, the first one?
I think the first one was actually for me and Mikael, and that was in San Francisco, was it? Can't really remember. I think so, 2012, if that rings a bell.
The first one?
I played...
The first one I played was in Seattle.
Yeah, I was also in Seattle, that's right. I think it was you and me, Michael and Ida, or was it Daniel? I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, Michael and Daniel and the Simons, I think.
That's right.
Have your parents ever represented Sweden on in an international
Yeah, our dad
team?
was actually considered the best player in Sweden for some time, but that was many years ago now. And then he was representing Sweden with Peter Fredin. Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact
I didn't
is
realize
also that when Peter Fredin started to play bridge, his bridge teacher was our dad.
Huh.
And they were having bridge courses at the high school where I went.
So then they started to play together, both in the juniors and then after some time in the national team, and they had great results.
Your dad playing with Peter?
Yes.
So Peter and your dad are the same age?
Our dad is a few years older.
He doesn't play in the seniors.
He doesn't really like to play that much bridge. He only plays the big events in Sweden. He likes his job. He likes having a normal life, if I can call it that.
He plays like the Swedish Open, like the Swedish Team Championship, the Swedish Premier League, some other national tournaments in Sweden. He can play like the Champions Cup if we qualify from that in Sweden and represent our bridge club in Sweden. So that's about it. Apart from that, he's having a normal 9-to-5 job or 8-to-5 job in Sweden.
And who does he play with? Who's his
right now, he does
partner?
not have a regular partner. He had one for many years, but he died 2 years ago. So now doesn't really have a regular partner. But in the big Swedish championships, he plays mostly with me and Ola in a three-way.
And like, who do you guys talk to about when you have bridge? Like when you have questions, let's say you guys have a disagreement, for example, do you go to your dad?
We did back in the days, but that wouldn't even occur to us anymore.
Well, we can always ask for a second opinion, but the value of that second opinion is not as high as it used to be. But if we would ask somebody for a second opinion about the disagreement that we have, it would probably be like, say, Fredrik Nyström, Peter Berthaud, Simon Holt, Marion. Yeah, all the Swedish top players, basically.
Have you guys had a disagreement recently?
Recently, well, nothing that is like very major that we have to consult with others.
Well, I do actually.
We haven't.
I think I remember the most recent major disagreement was in a relay auction. I was asking for one specific honor with 5 spades, and it went pass. And we were claiming 7 diamonds, and we played on a 4-2 fit in 5 spades. But that was quite a long.
Did you make it?
5 spades, so that was easy. But yeah, I remember that board. But other than that, the only thing we have had was like someone don't remember specific stuff in the system, or yeah. I would say
It's very rare that we have like a disagreement, that we are not on the same page, or that we just can't agree upon something. So
that is actually one of the
usually
that is actually one of the reasons I miss playing live a lot, because when you play online, people are not like truthfully fair and honest about looking at their system notes while they are playing an event. So I feel like we have quite a good upside of playing live because we don't have that many disagreements. Even though, yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's
it helps.
How many pages are your system notes?
how many is it? 160
Think
something.
around not that much, but
It's close, huh?
well, 140. Let's say 140. It might even be less than that. We're not like looking to expand our notes much more. We're more like simplifying and having the same principles everywhere. So it's not about having like something everywhere. It's more like sticking to principles, because the advantage of us playing together a little bit is that we most of the time agree what we're doing, even if it's not always like in the actual system notes. We can always explain what's going on in the bidding to our opponents and agree upon it. I mean, it certainly helps that we have been taught bridge the same way and we're thinking bridge the same way, because most of the time we are thinking bridge alike. Obviously, we have many agreements and all like principles, and all the system is symmetric in the system. So we don't really have to have exact things everywhere.
I didn't realize you guys played relays.
We have a couple of relays, but we try to bid as natural as possible in many cases, but there are some cases where we go from natural to relays depending on how the bidding develops. So everything is like it's been looked after, like how are we going to proceed in this, and we are thinking how we're going forward in this particular auction, or where there is an auction looking almost the same way in most cases. But there are a couple of relays.
Huh. Like when's in a situation when you have a relay?
That would be after we open a one diamond and one only if we are in a game forcing sequence, and if we open one of a major and we have a game forcing sequence.
But also
so that's usually the two.
Also, there's like some reverse auctions where we set the game force and then relay the shape and like the strength of the reverse hand. Like we're always trying to aim for the unbalanced hand to show the exact shape and the amount of points. Always trying to narrow down the point interval so it's not that wide. So there's always these kind of principles in most cases in the system.
I don't think I've really played against you guys.
I think we might have played against each other at some point, but obviously it's been a very long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching you guys in Copenhagen in that tournament and just feeling like I just remember being like, you guys were I don't know how to say this, like you just seemed very confident in what you were doing. You had doubled the opponents in some part score, and like there was like complete confidence about what was going on, and I remember admiring how on the same page you seemed.
Yeah, as I said, I think that way.
And I think of you guys as headhunters too. Like I think of you guys as like headhunters, which is what if you're good, that's you can.
I wouldn't say we miss an opportunity, but sure, we like to headhunt if we can.
You guys won the teams in Pula. Did you guys get any numbers down there?
We got many numbers down there, I can tell you. It's not like anybody's getting away with something, because we always punish whenever they are not on the same page or whenever they're out on deep water.
This It's so often you realize when you play these festivals, when there's like a partnership who does not have as many agreements as we have, or they're not playing with their regular partner. I mean, there was sometime their partner bid something, and this guy was just sitting there looking like in all kind of directions, just expressing to everybody around the table that they have no clue what this bid means.
Do they have screens down there?
They did not have screens down there. They had, they had screens actually. They're normal, not the like plexiglasses.
Well, it was in the team tournament where we played a Swiss, and if you are on the top 5 tables, you play with screens.
You guys have been to that tournament for a number of years, right, Pula?
A number of times, not like in the 4 or 5 consecutive years, but we've been there 3 times, I think.
Yeah, 3 times. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and this year.
And every year we had a different team. So it's really a fun festival. You could easily go there just for a vacation. It doesn't have to be bridge, but obviously it's a good combination.
And was this your first time winning the teams?
It was the first time winning the teams. We've never even won the pairs. So the pair is next on the list. And we're definitely going back because it's a lovely paradise.
What was the attendance like this year versus the other times you've been?
It's much lower, but it's quite high even. I mean, the room was kind of filled with tables and players. So it was not that bad. But when you read the bulletin the first day, they said attendance number was close to 50% less than a normal year, which I can't imagine because I can't imagine them fitting that many more tables. But if that's what they wrote and then that's what they say, okay, I get it. And I obviously for good reasons, like you don't have to get the absolute maximum number of players as we are still in the COVID-19 era.
Did you have to have a vaccination or wear a mask or anything?
You did not have to wear a mask for the whole tournament, but you had to show proof of vaccination or a negative test every second day.
So as long as you had proof of vaccination, you didn't need to show the negative test.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to wear a mask when you go to like supermarkets and breakfast, hotel breakfast, but during the bridge game, you didn't have to wear a mask at all.
Did you have to share a room with Holti?
We shared a room with Holti, and we had a room with each other, all the 3 of us. But we were really taking precautions here. So when we did book the hotel room, we specifically asked how the room looks like. So me and Michael, we slept on the upper level, and downstairs Simon Holt, where we could close the door, he slept. So we were exonerated for the worst.
So you didn't have to hear him snore?
Well, we heard it, but it was not as bad.
And who's this guy he was playing with? Camel?
He's a professional player from Poland that we have all 3 of us played against in the juniors. Right now he plays a lot with an American guy called Mikael Rimstedt. And
older guy,
yeah, like a client.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good. I would say he's a very good. He's a good fun to hang out with, and a great player.
He plays a lot of these team matches with Jimmy Kane on BBO. His BBO name is Radiators. I'm sure most of those have heard about it.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
Yeah, he's been playing so many of these Jimmy Kane matches. He's a good guy. He's a fun lad. And Camel we got to know during the junior years, and he's a great Polish guy.
And who would you guys rather hang out with, this guy or Simon Cope?
What is this kind of question? I'm sure Simon Cope asked you to ask this question.
No, there's a lot of Instagram of the 3 of you just buddying around Italy, and I was a little jealous. that I wasn't invited on that. I mean, it seemed like it was like a 10 days of hanging out, bromance.
It was 5 days actually.
It felt like 10 on social media. It felt like 10 on Instagram.
It was.
What, did you go to both weddings? Did you go to Georgia's and Tomas's wedding?
Only Tomas's wedding.
Tomas's and Irene's. It was a great wedding in the Toscana.
How many people were at the wedding?
I think they said about 180.
Mm.
And it was so good seeing all these people after 2 brutal years of COVID-19.
And it was it was my first trip in over 1.5 years. And it was a good one.
But Michael,
I've been to England and I've been to France 3 times.
What were you doing in France?
I was there in September to November last year studying French. And then I went 1 more year just because I was tired of Sweden, just want to hang out with friends. I learned to meet in France.
Were you in Paris or somewhere else?
Just Paris. But I was playing this tournament in Biarritz, this bridge festival. So twice in Paris and once in Biarritz.
I've played Biarritz before.
Great festival. Totally recommend.
Yeah. I got to play with Zia for
nice.
For the Paris. Yeah.
Did you wear earplugs?
No, but he. I remember it was like kind of it was right when I played Transfer Advances for the first time, and he opened something and they doubled, and so I bid 1 no, and showing clubs. And now the lefty bid, and so he bid 3 clubs. So I thought he had a good hand. I bid 5 clubs. I had 6 clubs, but I had sort of a Yarborough, and he did not like that. Yeah, he was tough. He was a tough partner.
Yeah, I guess you'll need some patience playing with him, but what a guy.
We got like we would get like a 45%. They do barometer scoring, so you can see on the Bridgemate what your score is. And we'd get like a 45% on the hand. He'd be like, "Oh, we got a 0." like, okay, man, come on. Let's. But yeah, we were doing well, and then they stopped showing the scores, and that was the end of us. Yeah. But that was fun because Boya was there too, and we would go to dinner every night, and we would go over every board, every card played. I mean, it was a really cool experience. Yeah, for sure. Who were you playing down there with? A friend, Michael?
I was playing the teams with Anam.
Oh yeah,
and in team with Gillian and John Hurd. It was very nice, very pleasant to play with them.
How did you guys do?
In the teams, we actually didn't do so well. I can't remember where.
Was it mixed teams?
No, it was open.
That's too bad. That's a good mixed team.
Yeah, I guess maybe we have done better in the mixed. Who knows? And then in the pairs, I'm playing with Christian Larman from Denmark.
Oh yeah,
this little kid.
How did you two do?
Not so good either.
Really?
I mean, you're playing 3 sessions, and you need 3 good sessions to have a chance. And we had 2 good sessions and 1 horrible. And that horrible was just enough to not even be in contention. It would be better with like some sort of A final or something, because if you're having 1 bad session, you have no chance anymore. But it's easy for me to say.
Well, I enjoyed playing the mixed with you in the World Championships. That was a good team.
That was a great tournament. Great memories.
Had you won the pairs already?
Yes. So a lot of pressure on me.
Right. Remember, you played 6 spades redoubled and you lost 12?
No, 4 spades redouble with an overtrick and a lost 12.
Right.
I remember. I don't lose these boards off my chest.
Oh my god. I want to know, like in your family, like how you guys, like in the well, it said that you were 5 years old when you learned, and then you were like 13 when you really started playing. Like, was it something that you guys played every night at home, or like?
You mean when we were 13 years old?
Yeah, like like in your bridge, like how did it happen? Like how did your family, like how did you start playing?
When I was 13, I remember I started to play a lot online. And that was especially because this was the first year we got to travel internationally with the junior team. And then I got like a really good taste of it. I wouldn't say maybe I got a great taste of the game itself, but just the fact that we could travel and play bridge and meet people and had such a great time. I was in France the first time, and I met some really good friends. And I figured if I keep doing this, I will be meeting even more friends and just having a great time. And we played the next year as well, like a junior championship, and we had even a better time. And we just realized that this is actually a really good fun, especially in the junior career. I mean, junior years is just the best years. Nobody could say anything differently.
So you and Ola would play as partners, but you would play online, or would you playing with other partners? This is when you were 13, Ola.
Yeah,
like when you guys first started playing.
I played maybe the championships and some tournaments with Ola, but at this point, I wanted to create some kind of perspective on my own bridge. So I was asking a lot of different players to play local tournaments in Sweden. So I played it online, but mostly like tournaments, and some good, some bad results. But I had some pretty good results that I saw I had maybe like I had a chance to become something, you know. But just fact I was known as playing with different partner every tournament. It was good fun. I loved it.
Ola, were you as into it as Mikael was at first?
I can't really compare how much I was into it, but I did try to do the exact same thing, like trying to play with different partners, getting a different perspective of the game, getting to know from the more experienced ones, and having a good time, like meeting new people. And besides playing bridge with them for a tournament, we also like talk about other things. So it's also like connecting with different people, creating like connections between everybody. I think it was good fun.
So how important were like your parents and sisters in like the fact that you guys were starting to play? Were they like encouraging it? Were they even involved at all? Or
At first, our sisters, they taught me and Mikael how the game is supposed to be played. We played some regional team games in where we lived for the first years. We absolutely hated bridge, me and Mikael. We really didn't want to play bridge at all at first. So we really wanted to like focus on golf, table tennis, football, like anything that, well, when I say football, I mean soccer, in speaking of Americans.
Yeah.
But every time when we like back from school, we get the questions from our sister, like, how's the bridge going, etc. Like expecting us to practice on BBO and whatever there is. So we really try to do anything to avoid the bridge questions and play bridge. But whenever there was like a game coming up in our region, we had to play it, and I was like, oh God, our evening is destroyed. We have to play bridge instead of watching movies and whatever we could do. So it was a different time back then. We really got more into bridge when we were first selected to represent Sweden for the junior team. Well, the schools team, but to be a part of the squad.
So, like, how old were you, would you say, when your sisters were asking you if you were playing bridge, or it was annoying if you had to play bridge at night? Like, how long did that go on?
They taught us bridge when we were 5 years of age. Not like absolutely on a serious matter, but they taught us how the game is played. Then we played a little bit when we were 6, and then they were like trying to get us to play as much bridge as possible till we become like 11 or 12 years old or something. And then that is when we were selected to represent Sweden in some Nordic junior event. So we played like Swedish junior championship for both pairs and teams, but that is not much more that we did. There were a couple of junior camps, but we certainly didn't play that much more than that.
Is Peter Bertaux's son still playing bridge? Is he into it?
Not as much as he used to be. He focuses much more on his private life right now. And bridge is not much a part of it anymore. I still think he is very talented bridge player of his age, but bridge doesn't like it. It's not like the big thing for him anymore.
I guess
it might come back.
I mean, I guess it's hard when you're going to school and nobody is like even considering bridge. And yeah, so I think he more wanted to spend time with friends and talk about what they want to talk about and not having too much involved with the bridge. So I mean, I guess it's good for now, and then maybe when he split up with his friends, or if that will ever happen, I mean, start studying, one day maybe he will come back and play. Pretty sure he will.
Yeah, I'm quite sure he will. It's just a matter of time something happens in his life. Or he might not, and he's going to be completely busy with, let's say, studies. It's all about the life situation.
It's probably a necessary break also, I would say.
What do you guys do? Are you guys playing in a tournament tomorrow? Are you playing golf tomorrow? What's the deal tomorrow?
I'm playing golf tomorrow with Stocka and Holt.
But no Ola.
I'm not. I'm teaching some ladies here from Sweden to play bridge. So I'm not going to be available. We're still playing in this alt that has been going on for the week. So we're still doing that every day, every Monday to Friday. So
every day, Monday to Friday.
I would say every day this week.
I mean, I kind of want to ask about like your dating lives, but I feel like that's a little personal for the show.
Not at all.
Michael, you're still with Sina?
I've never been with Sina.
So that's the rumor.
No, you play with Sina on the mixed team. That's why I was making that joke. Are you guys dating anybody?
No. None of us, no. We are not.
Wow.
We are.
Man, there's some lucky Swedish women out there. Was it with?
Sweden is not a great country if you want to date. We are like ranked as one of the most boring people there is.
Really?
Yep. Maybe we're known as one of the better looking like Swedes, but in terms of personality, we are gonna stay out of all the strangers. Like we're not gonna talk to you if we don't know you.
We're reserved people. That's fact.
Well, I think Ola looks great. Ola looks particularly handsome. I'm noticing like he looks very fit.
And then you meet up with him.
No, he looks really like. I mean, people are gonna want to tune in for the video for this. He's looking good these days. Tell me about Mika Rim Duty.
Well, okay. The story usually goes for everywhere we go is Michael is not like taking alcohol very well, so somebody has to be on Michael Rim Duty, which means whenever he has a drink too many, which happens pretty much every time, you have to be the one taking care of wherever he's going and however the night is going to end up for him. So that's Mikael Rim Duty. Get him to bed or get him in one piece.
And was there Mika Rim Duty in Pula?
In Pula, there was no Mika Rim Duty as I can recall. I think it used to be worse. He has been okay so far the past year, but that's probably because we haven't had that many crazy parties or crazy get-togethers.
I think you will have a different response from Simon
If
Coates.
you're gonna ask Simon, that's what you probably should ask me about.
Let's say I had my moments in London.
Do you guys consider each other your best friend?
Nothing.
Probably we are the closest. Yeah, we talk about pretty much.
I mean,
everything.
if someone has asked me who's my best friend, I'm not really saying Ola because he's my brother. Don't get that question too often, to be honest.
Yeah. What about with your sisters?
What about them?
Are you closer with your? I mean, like with either of your sisters?
We have a different relationship with them. I mean, Cecilia lives here in Sweden, so Sandra lives in the US. So, and then we play bridge more with Cecilia. We talk more with Sandra about other stuff. So and like when we like how everything works in the US. So we talk about different stuff. So it's a different relationship with them.
Have you gone to New York and played a lot of client bridge?
It happened like 2 or 3 times, but it was not the purpose of the trip. It was to be with Sandra.
Whenever we go to New York, it's not because we are playing professional bridge. I have played a regional in New York, and that was obviously for professional bridge. But during that week, I stayed at Sandra's. So, we've been to New York many times, me and Mikael. So every time we go there, it's because we want to visit Sandra and the family, Sandra, Shane, and the kids.
Have you ever played in the Regency, the dollar game?
I have.
You have?
I don't know if What do you say?
You've played in the rubber bridge game at the Regency?
Oh, not the rubber game. No, I played just a duplicate 24 boards or what it was. But not a rubber bridge. I never played like a professional rubber bridge game ever. I consider that more like gambling, and I have no interest whatsoever.
You have to be good at bridge.
It's weird.
What?
Yeah, you have to be good at bridge.
What did he say?
He knows.
Is Mikael considered the better player because he won the pairs with Zach?
I don't know if he's considered the better because of that, but I think in most eyes, Mikael is considered the better player.
You really think that, or are you just joking?
No, I think so.
I say we have days.
Wow.
We have days.
What?
I mean, there's often that I have worse days and Ola has worse days. So it's.
I mean, I'm speaking of the eyes of other people.
Well, he was on the McAllister team, which is one of the marquee teams for mixed.
Well, obviously, I mean, having that on your resume, it's like life changing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I don't think either of us really cares what others think of our bridge game, because we just keep up our bridge game like the way it is. Others are saying things that those Rimstedt brothers are overrated. Some say that these guys are I don't know why they are doing so well, and etc. Some are saying that this is the best player in the world. Okay, I mean, it's all flattering and it's all different.
Is anybody saying you guys could be as good as the Grossacks?
Maybe not.
I think that you are one of the first.
We can always be the one of the very best, but when it comes to the Grossacks, that's the very peak. So not usually getting that far up.
I appreciate you guys doing this. Thank you very much. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys.
Nice talking to you. I hope that feels me already closer to US.
I hope we can. I really want you guys to come to Virginia sometime, and play golf. Come play golf for a couple of days. So I hope we get to do that at some point in the future.
I hope so. I hope the same.
Maybe next time the Nationals are in DC, we could do that, because I live 2 hours from DC.
You don't have any plan. I mean, you don't have any plans. If you go to Austin, go there a day or two earlier, just play golf.
I mean, I'm kind of a little bit reluctant to do that because I just feel like when I go to a bridge tournament, like golf, I love playing golf, but I just feel like, I mean, I would potentially be interested in that. But you're not going to have your own clubs. You're going to be playing with rented clubs. It's going to be fall. Like there might be leaves on the course. I don't know. Like I kind of like when I like to go to play bridge tournaments, I like to kind of focus on the bridge.
That's obviously fine.
Well, the tournament hasn't started if you go there 2 days earlier, no?
There you go. There you go. I mean, I would love the opportunity to play. I mean, I feel like when we played in Orlando, actually, that Michael kind of got the better of me. That's my recollection of that. So now that I've, been improving, I would like another shot at the title.
I would love to.
All right. Well, anyway, it's great to see you guys. I really appreciate you doing this. I'm excited to see you in Austin. We will play golf. We'll do it.
Thanks for this opportunity. It was nice talking to you. Nice seeing you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to the Rimstedts for appearing. We are looking for a new podcast editor. If you think that person is you, or you know somebody who might be a good candidate, please email me, john@thesettingtrick.com, and check out Double Dummy. We've got a new trailer coming out this week, and the new film is getting raves later.